guys, welcome back to our channel.
Hi.
We're gonna do something a little different today. We're going to be reacting to like some strange story times on TikTok, kind of still related to topics that we talk about on like the regular pod. But yeah, we're gonna shift gears a little bit for the New Year's and see how this goes. We're
Hope you guys doing good for the new year.
Yes, Happy New Year.
It's been a while since you've seen us. We've been busy, I know.
Yes.
But this year, since we're switching things around a little bit, we'll definitely be more consistent.
Yes.
So bear with us.
What are we watching today?
We're watching this, I guess like a TikTok series of a girl who broke up with her man on New Year's or before New Year's, the day before. One of those. But we're going to get deep into it and see the reasons why. I'm excited. I saw some of it, but I didn't ruin it all for myself. So, and she hasn't seen it at all.
No, I haven't seen it. These are the type of story times that I love. It's kind of like, I forgot that woman's name, but the one that had that boyfriend.
Oh, Risa Tisa.
Oh
yeah.
And we really binge watched that entire series.
Yes.
But the fun thing about that, when we were watching it, we kind of were watching a commentary on it that was like a watch along. So I think if there's certain content like that where we can kind of dissect and like talk, and not that it's a TV show because it is reality for some people, but I think that'll also be something that would be cool to post on here, so you can get like our live reactions. Okay, but we're gonna get into this.
The fact that the video starts with "Leave that man right where you found him."
Yeah, so this is Shonda Rhimes' Stan account. Wait, I gotta really see if this is her. Like, I need to know her name. Oh, that is her.
Okay.
Okay, so her name is Cash Niani?
Yeah, but her TikTok is called Shonda Rhimes Stan account.
Okay, so she's already leading like the emphasis of her life is messy. Because Shonda Rhimes only makes messy love stories.
So I ghosted my boyfriend on New Year's Eve, and I have not spoken to him since. Before I get into this, I just want to say that me and my boyfriend, we have been together for a year. Well, almost a year, 11 months. A year on February 2nd, we will have been together, okay? My boyfriend is also 34, grown man.
Is that a keloid?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, am I saying something? That's not funny.
She's trying to figure out if that's like a necklace or something.
Yeah, I thought at first it was like, I was like, does she have chocolate on her chest?
He also is a homeowner, has a pretty good job, and also has a business that he's starting. So let's start there, right? So recently, obviously, like you all have known, I've become unemployed. And I have not been able to find a job. I have put in like 30 applications today. I've got nothing, like barely even an interview. I've gone on 2 interviews. So I've been literally struggling, and I no longer have the funds to afford these bills, okay? Anyways, okay, I'm gonna keep it together for this.
She's taking it like a champ.
No, honestly, because I would be, God forbid, Lord, I don't want to be in like a struggle mindset like that. Like that is, you go straight into survival mode. So that's already high nerves, anxiety. It's already a lot. I'm like, dang.
I don't have the funds to afford these bills. It's something so crazy about having hundreds of thousands of dollars one day and then the next day having nothing. But that's what's going on right now. And
everyone's a paycheck away from being broke.
I'm vulnerable with my...
She said hundreds of thousands
of dollars one day and then just being broke.
Oh, because she said it took her how long to try to find a job?
She still hasn't found one. So I guess she was using that money.
Think, how much is her rent? You had hundreds of thousands of dollars. Your rent is gone, or like you would have a savings or emergency funds.
Maybe I think those are probably her emergency funds. But hundreds of thousands, I guess that can, depending where you live, and if you live in a certain area, that can be $3,400 to $5,000 a month. And then if you have an expensive car, that car note can be almost $1,000 car note plus insurance. But dang.
And then credit card bills.
And then everything else. And if you're taking yourself on trips, and if you're living like you're gonna always have this job, that can also do it.
Yeah, this is your only source of income.
And so I am vulnerable with my man, and I go, hey, I'm gonna need to like stay with you for a little while I get myself together. Like, I don't have anything on their end, and so I'm gonna need to move with you while I get myself together. Mind you, I said he has his own house, his own 3-bedroom apartment in a nice neighborhood.
Because I'm thinking that reverse wise, if
He said, sit there. Oh yeah,
I
don't
know, like if you know, if your man is down and out, like he got laid off or something, God forbid, and then, you know, he says, hey, I'm gonna need to move in with you. I don't know. I would say you don't have like a cousin. Like you don't have, but is it different because she's a woman? That's my thing.
Yeah.
So like, because you want to protect her, you want to make sure she's good. If this is someone that you do see as your wife, you want to invite them in your home already.
Yeah.
So that's the
honestly,
thing. Okay, because we haven't heard his reaction yet.
Mm-hmm.
But my instance, I was thinking of it from
If
the
I know-
opposite. If
yeah.
the guy, but it takes a little bit more of like a man needs to know how to manage himself and know how to have those survival skills. So that's where
Yeah.
I'm coming from with that. Okay, but let me not, because I already started judging, and I'm listen.
I already started.
We're only a minute and 31.
Because
he didn't even, but we didn't hear his answer yet.
Yeah, maybe he offered.
He also has a best friend. His best friend lives with him,
Ooh.
mind you, and has been living with him for however many years. He's like lived there almost the whole time
So
he's
he's
lived
a
there.
roommate.
And so I'm like, if his best friend can live with him, why not his girlfriend, you know? So I'm like, hey, I need a place to stay. Which honestly, in hindsight, I shouldn't even have to ask for that. He knew I was struggling. He should have said, hey, let me take something off of your plate. Like,
that's
come stay
what
with me
I
so
was
that you
getting
can breathe
to. I
and
was
get
like,
this. If he really cared about me,
if he knows that you lost your job and you're doing all that you can, you have your rainy day funds, and if that falls through and that runs out, even just offering, even though if I don't take it, just offering that makes me feel like, oh, okay, you care, you know. He didn't offer that.
Okay, we don't know yet.
She just said it.
She said
I shouldn't even have to ask because you should offer it. You're not listening. She literally just said that.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, she did. Go back a little bit.
You take something off of your plate, like come stay with me so that you can breathe and get this. If he really cared about me, he would have said that. But
He didn't say that. I tell you.
Saying that he would have said that.
Yeah, he should have offered that. She shouldn't even have to ask because he knew that she was struggling already. Mm-hmm. That's what I was gonna get to, because I'm like, because I only just saw the little bit of the beginning, like
so like what bills is he supposed to take on? This also is different when are y'all like really serious? Is it like just dating? Because if it's only like we've been, oh no, she said a year.
Yeah.
Girl.
He not trying to, girl.
Because why do we?
He might be your boyfriend, but you may not be his girlfriend. You really might not be his girlfriend.
Or he doesn't like you. I feel like you would do if you really like someone. If someone I loved, family, friend, and was telling me they really down and out, like I literally cannot
especially
afford
after
this.
a year. Yeah.
I will try to help you out, but it depends on if I can or not. So that's why I'm like, if he didn't offer that, he obviously can't offer it. Like he probably doesn't have, even though she said he has starting a business or whatever, we don't know his debt to income ratio.
But like, just to have a roof over her head, maybe she'll help out in some other way or try to pay whatever she can, but just like have a roof over her head because she can't make rent, so where she
but also live? Isn't that messy that the best friend is living there, so you're gonna have another man around your woman? I can see the hesitancy in that, and I don't know if I would be comfortable with another guy in the house that's not my man. What happens? I come home one day and the friend, I don't want you. Why is your friend around?
But she can't have no protest because she know he's been there before her.
Sat there and he watched me struggle, and then watched me get to the point where I was like, hey, I just need a break. Like, I'm literally so depressed. I'm losing my mind. I can't find anything. Can you please help me? And he said no.
Damn.
He said no. He said no, you cannot live with me. Mind you, living with him is free. Doesn't cost him anything. He said no. I can't live with him. At first he goes, oh, I like that we have our own places to retreat to when we get into our arguments. And wrong answer. Number one, when we get into arguments, we never leave. Like, like we stay in the same room and we continue to talk it out until we work it through, which I think is a really good habit that we have and a really good green flag that we have in our relationship. Yes, do we get into arguments? So does everyone. Yes, do I lose my cool? I'm a woman, but
I think, one, this is why you have to have conversations with your partner early on. And I'm talking about that first month y'all are officially dating. You need to be asking hard questions. The answer that a lot of people assume is just because we're in a relationship, we're supposed to be all up under each other. Like, there's no separation. There's no anything. I've always joked and said, I want a bridge house. And there's some truth in that, because I do think it's okay to retreat to different parts. Like, sometimes you do need your solitude. You do kind of just need to be by yourself. And your partner shouldn't sit there and be having an attitude because you want a little bit of solitude. They should just respect it and be like, yeah, let's be within our own individual selves. Let's not have to rely on each other's energy 24/7. Like, I don't think that's healthy. So her boyfriend could just believe in that. Like, what did that woman, that actress from Moesha show, the stepmom?
Oh yeah,
Cheryl. I think that's, I don't want to butcher her name, but her husband, which I don't know how you think about that. Her husband they're married. She says like they happily married, but they live in 2 separate houses. They've been together for 20 something years. And she says, and every time someone asks her like about her husband, she'll be like, my husband is the senator in Philadelphia, and then she'd be like, and I love him. Like she says his name proudly. She says, what works in our marriage is our marriage, and that's my man, and I'm his woman. Like, she says stuff like that. And I'm like, it could just work for them. She's like, when I'm ready to go, I get my stuff and I leave. When he's ready to go, he get his stuff and his leave, and we go to our homes. And they like, you know, I think, so they live in I don't know if they live in the same state or not. But they have money to go around and travel. So, but I don't know. I'm like,
that's extreme. And it's like she said, her marriage is her marriage, and it might be an open marriage. So
it's like an open. That's what I think. It gave very open marriage.
Yeah, without
like
saying
we have our own people on the side. Yes. But when we reunite, we're good. We know that we're each other's beacons. But everybody else is just side character.
I get what you mean. But I'm like, if someone's struggling and they just need it for a temporary, it's not like she's trying to move in with forever.
You know what I'm doing? I keep forgetting that she said she lost her job.
Yeah, it's not like she's trying, because she likes
it's not like she's trying to be a bum. She literally is in a bum state right now. Like, she's trying to better herself and get a job. Yeah. So I do think that is lacking empathy on his part.
If anything, he should be offended. Like, if you don't have family, or if she does, I don't know. But if you don't have family, I got you. That's what you want to hear. That's what I'm
like. She didn't mention that she asked her family. Yeah. Do you think she asked him first?
Maybe she asked him first, but maybe we'll learn more.
I rein it back in and we figure it out, and nobody goes home. So that's a weird thing to say. We've never even done that. Second of all, that's like a problem to me, not a solution. When we get into arguments, we should not be leaving, because what happens when we get married? There's no way to go. We both live in the same house.
I don't know. So sometimes you can get your 10-minute break,
being that we
go
have not
walk around the block, come
maybe
back.
Let's not start that now.
Yeah. It just shouldn't last over like a day.
She might think it's resolved, but it may not be resolved for him.
After a year,
that's another thing.
I want to be engaged. He said that's plenty enough time for someone to know whether or not they want to get married or not. This is what he said. We have talked about it, I shit you not, probably 10 times throughout this year, and never once did he say, I don't think this is going well enough for that to be a realistic goal anymore. Never once did he say, hey, like, let's pump the brakes. I don't think that we're doing that well for it to get to that. So I'm thinking we're doing well, we're on schedule. After a year or a year and a half, we'll probably get engaged. And he goes, I don't think I'm gonna live with someone again until I'm married to them. Which is some new boundary that he literally just made up, because he's never said that the whole time we've been together. And I go, maybe it's not a good idea that you live with someone after you already got married to them, because what if you guys are not compatible to live together and you don't know that until after you're already married? Then what? That's really dumb, actually. And so I'm like, okay, that's a completely new thing.
Yeah, because I had that same thought before. I was like, I didn't want to live with somebody until I was married. But I do worry about seeing how they live. Like, I'm like, how do you deal with yourself on a daily basis? Like,
Yeah.
are you dirty? Are you just leaving your drawers everywhere? Like, what's happening?
I think
Like, the engagement period, I think, is a great time to, like, test it. Because how long does engagements last? I guess it depends on people. Like, I know some people stay engaged for, like, another year. But that's because they're planning for their wedding or whatever.
Usually, like, maybe if they want to do it right away, 6 months to a year. Yeah, I think also you could tell how someone lives when you go to their house. You stay over just, or if you choose to spend the night, or if you don't choose to spend the night, you can see how people keep their houses. As well as it's always going to change when you get married. Like the whole dynamic is going to change. But the main thing is being able to compromise. If you're going to be hard-headed and be set in your ways, like, I'm going to do things like this, then you shouldn't get married because you're thinking with a single mindset.
Yeah.
So if both parties are able to compromise, you'll be fine.
Granted, it's been a year. We set our goal for a year. Are we going to get married? And he goes, no, that was your goal.
Ooh.
Since when was this my goal?
Like I said.
It was my goal, but, like, I thought we were in agreement. Because you never said that we weren't in agreement.
She wasn't his girlfriend.
Clearly, I made all this up in my head. And this was never a goal. I just thought it was a goal because I continuously talked about it. And he never said that it was unrealistic. As a matter of fact, he said
he was like, girl, I don't know what she talking about.
It was a realistic goal to have. And never once, as we neared to the end of that year, did he ever say, hey, I don't think we're close to being married. So imagine my surprise when he says, I don't think we're close to being married. We still have things to figure out. Because a couple of nights ago, I got super irritated at him and yelled at him and told him to leave my house. And apparently that's enough of a reason for him to be like, whoa, I don't want to marry her.
She thought things got resolved. They were never resolved in his eyes.
So yeah. And so
I
said, you know,
hey, I want to know the tea.
I'm scared that I'm going to be homeless because these people... I said, I'm actually thinking I'm going to be homeless because I don't have a job and these bills keep coming and I can't do it no more. I'm tapped out.
No, she laughed to keep from crying.
I think I'm gonna end up, if you don't let me live with you, I'm gonna end up in my car, living in my car, something like being actually homeless. And he goes, well, plenty of millionaires have lived in their car before.
This is not your man, sis.
He don't like you.
He don't like you at all.
You're a placeholder. You are a placeholder, and
no, he actually
you're laying down with
hates
him.
Your gut.
You're just so. I don't know. I can say that.
He hates her guts. That is somebody who hates you.
She thought things were resolved.
He's a Virgo. I guarantee you he a Virgo. I guarantee you he is a Virgo.
This man.
That sounds like a... I need to know his sign.
He don't like her. He does not like her.
So basically he said, yeah, no, I'm not going to help you. I'm sorry that you're dealing with this. I know it's hard, but...
That's not even a friend.
Basically he told me that you never really do have anybody to depend on, and you come alone in this world, and you are your own person.
Don't go crying to your mama, cause you're on your own in the real world. I was just thinking that last night. That's what he sounds like. That's his anthem song.
You should be your number one priority because nobody else is going to be dependable, which I translated to, he is not someone I can depend on. Why would I ever marry someone that I can't depend on? I'm a dependable person. I've had friends that I've let stay with me.
Nah, I think about it. If I'm with somebody for a year and we're serious and you don't help me in this sense, and I'm not even talking about it's going to be permanent. It's just like, and you're my man and if she laid down with him too, and he's saying no.
Yeah, well, we come into this world by ourselves and we're going to leave by ourselves.
I
so you better figure it out.
Fight him. I would have fought him. That's crazy.
That I've given a place to stay for free. That I've been able to like say, hey, you can lean on me. Like, don't worry about nothing. Take a break. I got you. So I
hope she didn't buy him no gifts.
You can be dependable to your girlfriend.
Right.
It's not a crazy concept. Yeah, we do come in this world alone, but relationships are the whole reason of everything. You should be able to depend on the people around you, on your community.
I hope she wasn't explaining this to him.
People that you can say, hey,
that's one thing. I'm never begging somebody to let me stay somewhere. I've never.
Maybe she didn't explain it. She just like, and maybe in her head, like
she thought
she probably was shocked.
I hope this was in her mind.
Yeah,
she didn't actually voice this because you should not be over explaining yourself.
That man said, you cannot depend on me. I'm really not your man. I don't like you. And she says she has her explosions because she's a woman. No, she has explosions because her personality, and we don't know what her explosions are like either.
Right.
So,
because I'm like, what did you say to this man?
Yeah. and he doesn't like her.
Oh, a responsibility to the people you love and the people you care about. And apparently he doesn't think that way, and I don't think I can be in a
He didn't think that way
relationship with
of
someone
you.
who
He put
doesn't
you in a
think that way.
place where
And
you're
so
just
I
gonna hold
decided
it
that I kind of
until
ghosted
you get
him.
the
I just
person that he
stopped talking
wants.
to him, and I probably will never speak to him again. That really turned me off, and yeah, that's why I broke up with my boyfriend, because he said it was okay that I be homeless. I should be homeless.
A lot of millionaires that become homeless.
Okay, that I be homeless. I should be homeless while he goes home to his 3-bedroom house in a nice neighborhood.
He got 3 bedrooms. I was thinking that they're gonna share a bedroom.
That's what I would think.
But there's a 3rd bedroom that she can stay and not be in his space, and he's not gonna give that to her.
Nah, because I'm pretty sure that best friend that's staying there is paying money, so he's having help with the mortgage.
The best friend is paying money, but I'm saying there's a 3rd bedroom.
Yeah, he probably saving that 3rd bedroom for someone that could pay.
No, but even if if she would have enough to pay him to stay with him, but she just can't afford her rent. It could be she could give him like $300. $300 from $2,700 is a big difference. And if she already said she was making $100,000, she said it would be no extra cost to him for me to stay here, because that means she was going to contribute. Obviously, she couldn't afford like a whole $1,000 and stuff, but she probably thinking I can give him like $300 for this, like, you know, so she's not a freeloader. But the fact that he had a 1 extra bedroom, and his main thing was he likes them to have their own space. She'll have her own space. She'll be in the guest room. You'll be in your bedroom, but you don't even want that. So you actually, hey, why did you not break up with her sooner?
They don't do that. They have a safety net before they jump to the next safety boat.
This is insane.
And rubs his feet together under his nice comforter set, his nice sheet set, and watches his 70-inch TV on the wall, and twiddles his thumbs together while I'm out in my car in the cold. Talking about he's going to give me a blanket for Christmas so I don't be cold. You gonna get you a niche for Christmas. I ain't even on my neck.
So this is part 2 of I ghosted my boyfriend on New Year's.
Because it's getting crazy in the comments. I just want to answer some questions and clarify some things about the situation of, if you didn't watch the last video.
Side note, I don't know, I do feel like she has a filter on her, but her face in general, she's really pretty. And her skin is nice.
She's very nice skin.
Yeah.
My boyfriend said I should live it's okay that I'd be homeless, live in my car. And he wasn't going to help me. I think this whole situation, I've just finished crying. At this whole year, it's just been horrible for me. But y'all don't care. Let's get straight to it. So the roommate situation, when he moved in that house, people were asking me, how do I know it's his house? I know it's his house because when I first even went to this house, he had like frames on the wall, like pictures of himself that he had blown up and put on the wall in the living room.
No! We do not date guys who have their image plastered in their house. That is the biggest red flag. If I went to a person's house first night
and I just see pictures
pictures of you, you are the most arrogant a-hole out there. Like, that is so arrogant. That's so vain.
It's not with anybody else.
And she said multiple.
It's just blown up pictures of yourself.
It's just him. He's psychopath. That is some American psycho bull. I would be gone so fast. Like, I'm not even kidding. I would be gone.
Just like, yeah.
I wish she started that out in the beginning. Biggest red flag. It makes me think of White Chicks. Shawn Wayans, and they went to that black guy's house, Terry Crews' house.
Yeah.
And he had like a fur blanket on him.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Sitting there like this.
Also, he has like pictures of when he bought the house, like holding a little, sold sign. When I asked him about why he had his best friend living with him, he told me that a little while after he had moved in, he had started to get, it was quiet. He didn't say he was lonely. He said that it was quiet. The house was too quiet.
Is he gay?
I'm like,
is that too early to assume?
Because I'm wondering
that. Lonely? So, but you don't want your woman there? You want your male best friend? Okay.
I'm gonna let it keep good. I'm gonna keep my comments to myself, and I'm gonna let it continue on, and then I'll.
Alleged.
I have to still formulate
living with him. He told me that a little while after he had moved in, he had started to get. It was quiet. He didn't say he was lonely. He said that it was quiet. The house was too quiet. I don't know if he asked the best friend or the best friend asked him, but the best friend was there. Is he paying bills? People are asking me, is the best friend paying rent? I don't know, y'all. I know for sure that he's not paying utilities. I don't know if he's paying rent or not. He's also not the only person that lives in that house, okay? He has this Asian guy that is living with him in the 3rd bedroom, because there's 3 bedrooms. When I first asked him, how does he know this Asian guy? He said that he was a friend of a friend. One of his friends, I think in DC or New York, something like that, had a friend who was moving.
Something is wrong here. DC? Something is wrong here. There's a lot of red flags. When did an Asian guy get into the mix? This has turned into some trapped in the closet mess. This is getting crazy.
In New York and that right there, especially DC.
Wait, which one did he know from DC? The Asian guy?
He said a friend of a friend that he knows from like DC or New York.
But where are they living now? Where is this happening now?
I don't know where she is now.
I don't know why I thought this was Atlanta.
It feels like the way it's the setup. It sounds like it should be Atlanta.
He invited the best friend in the house because he was lonely. She said he didn't use the words lonely, he used quiet. An Asian guy lives in there. An Asian guy, we don't know where he came from, lives there now. Because I was like, that's why I thought why she couldn't be in the guest room. But you said.
Because I was like, maybe he wanted someone to pay. But I didn't know there was somebody already living in there. Oh.
So now, it's 2. I would also be very uncomfortable being in the house with 2 extra men in the house. You gotta be so uncomfortable. You gotta be running around, especially with 2 bathrooms, and you don't know how her connecting bathroom is, and it's too much happening.
Because I think she was planning on staying in his bedroom, and his bedroom most likely is the master that has the master ensuite bathroom, so she wouldn't have to be out in the bath, like, you know, trying to run back and forth in the bedroom.
I don't know why I'm thinking of that guy that I dated.
I thought about him
like,
too.
Is this a sober house? What is this?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of that because it's something like I cannot be in a house where a whole bunch of men live together. It is disgusting. It is the most disgusting thing you see. They are very frat boyish because no one is cleaning up and they're used to it. They're like kind of like pigs, like they just live in the filth, but they enjoy it because they're like, here, men, we're here. I'm like, this is dirty.
Had a friend who was moving to Charlotte for a job and needed a place to stay. That's what his original story was. When I asked him again, like when we were talking about the
she said Charlotte, so this is North Carolina?
I guess so.
And me feeling like, I don't think you should have roommates. You have a good job. He was saying like, oh, me and the Indian, we're good friends. We're really good friends. Him and the Asian guy, we're really good friends. I don't know when they became really good friends because at first he said that it was a friend of a friend. I don't know if he's a liar or, I mean, technically it's possible that he started off as a friend of a friend and became really good friends with him. But now he's telling me, oh, that's his really good friend. So here's when I realized that, and is the Indian man paying rent? I don't know, y'all.
Where did the Indian man come from? There's another man in there?
Unless that's the best friend who's Indian. Because she didn't mention it, she just started mentioning it.
Had a friend who was moving to Charlotte for a job and needed a place to stay. That's what his original story was. When I asked him again, like when we were talking about the roommate situation and me feeling like, I don't think you should have roommates, you have a good job. He was saying like, oh, me and the Indian, we're good friends. We're really good friends. Him and the Asian guy, we're really good friends. I don't know when they became really good friends because at first he said that it was a friend of a friend. I don't know if he's a liar or, I mean, technically it's possible that he started off as a friend of a friend and became really good friends with him. But now he's telling me, oh, that's his really good friend. So here's when I realized that, and is the Indian man paying rent? I don't know, y'all. And these are probably questions I should have asked, but I didn't want to get too deep into his business. He's also super mysterious. Like, he answers questions in a way that makes me think that he don't want to answer them. So here's when I realized that maybe it's not what I've seen. I was on Facebook scrolling. I found this, like, roommate group on Facebook of people posting like, I'm renting this room and people who are looking to move into people's houses. I find this group. I already think y'all already know what's about to happen. I find this group. I'm scrolling in the group looking at all the possibilities of people renting their rooms in Charlotte because maybe I might be homeless. Maybe I might need to rent a room. So I come across a house and I'm like, hold on. I know this house. I've seen this house before. This is his house. I clicked the profile. This is his name. So he's renting a room in his house for $1,000, utilities included. So
he don't own the house. He owns the house.
Yeah, but he's renting the rooms out, and he wasn't gonna give her a room because she's not gonna pay no $1,000. He wants someone to pay because he wants help with that mortgage.
Honestly, that's smart.
That is.
Kind of like the sobriety house. I knew a guy that rented the rooms out to his like sobriety people. So that's the first time I ever heard of that. Really, like I know rent a room because I know people do that in New York, but
yeah.
To that extent, for like a whole house, that was kind of unheard of to me. It was like rent a room for an apartment or something, like you know.
Yeah, that's what. Do you remember Lisa's friend? She was renting a room, and this woman was like 27 years old, and she just started doing some wild stuff. She would like remove their stuff around and then turn the gas on the stove and leave it on overnight because she was really trying to hurt them.
Why?
So
what the heck?
Vicky was like, "Hey, I gotta go. I'm going back to my parents. So this is too much." She was doing a lot. She said, "I've had some real crazy roommate stories. Like I could tell you." So I'm like, "Ugh." She said, "That's the only thing about it."
I don't know if it's his best friend that's moving out or the Asian guy. I assume it's the Asian guy. His best friend is 40, mind you. And he's been living there for a while. I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. But I'm assuming that the Asian guy moved out. He never told me that the Asian guy was moving out. He never discussed this with me. I mean, it's not my house, but we had conversations about like if we're gonna get married, we can't get married if there's people living here. And he decided to omit that information. Why he decided not to tell me that the Asian guy was moving, I'm sure he had his reasons, but he never told me that. It was a big shock and surprise. When I texted him about it, he said, "Oh," I said, "Is this your house?" He said, "Oh, LOL, yeah, that's my house." Whatever that is.
That man's a liar. He's doing something shady.
First of all, he's either very like cheap, like he like Mr. Krabs, or he wants every single penny, or he's very strategic where he's like, I have a 5-year plan to pay this mortgage down as much as possible. And I don't know, he could be thrifty in that sense. But to me, he just sounds very selfish, especially for a partner. This is a guy that you claimed was your boyfriend for over a year. It's no way that he shouldn't have said, it is no problem, you can stay here.
He has a woman somewhere.
Of course, but like,
and
that's
his
what I'm
actual
saying, he
feelings.
does not like her.
Yeah, she was just like a placeholder.
So he's African, he's Ghanaian. A lot of people ask what ethnicity he was. He's African.
Girl.
There's so many red flags. Girl, I don't even know. Now I'm trying to,
He has a whole family in Africa.
I really want to say, girl,
he got a woman somewhere else.
I really want to say you played yourself. Because you done, it was so many flags, girl. He was painted red. He was a fire hydrant.
And he had pictures of himself, so he said, "Oh, I did it. He got his house in America." And getting a house, yes, kudos to you.
She said he has another family.
He has a family somewhere.
He got a wife and a whole bunch of kids.
Yes, you were never gonna move in that house. He was never gonna marry you.
Ever.
He was scamming.
Wish she started out with all of this first, because then I would have said, "This. What did you expect? What was the? Why are you surprised?" That's what I really want to say. Are you surprised?
I gotta see the comments under this video because like there's just so many things I'm thinking like, girl. They stay having 2-3 families or just women somewhere. Because if he wasn't doing it for you, he's doing it for somebody else.
This is not the first time he's gone to Africa. When I said he has an okay job, I meant he has a good job. He makes 6 figures at his job. He's highly educated. He also has a business that he's starting on the side. He's doing, I don't want to tell you too much information because I don't want y'all to know who he is because I don't know. He's doing real estate. He's starting a real estate company in Ghana. He's there right now.
That's besides the point of just like taking everything from America and just going back to it. Like, this is why I make the argument with Black Americans and Africans, like, y'all need to build up here because this is the only place we have. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that triggered me. But yeah, he got a whole family. He's trying to be a kingpin. He got a mission because his mortgage getting paid for him.
And he came to America, he's into himself, which is is deceitful and is rude and is disgusting what he did.
Very rude.
But we gotta protect ourselves. We have to move like women. We have to move like everyone is guilty until proven innocent. You gotta move out like
it sounded like you've been too nice. You gotta be mean.
Yeah.
Bring back being mean.
and that's the thing. And also don't turn up. Don't like explode. You can say things in such a soft but firm way.
Don't raise your voice.
Yes. Mean what you say and then go about your business.
Talk a little slower.
That's it.
Keep your pacing.
Because you start acting like a child.
Yeah, you gotta act like you don't care.
Yes. Because you shouldn't.
Don't ever let them see you cry. I could tell she cried in front of him. You don't ever let them see that. Because it would have been that one moment he told me he didn't even immediately say yes. First of all, the man should be begging you to move in with him.
Yeah, the fact that he didn't bring it
The
up,
fact that
I'm
he
like,
never
yeah,
brought that
a
up
man that
is
could watch
done.
you struggle is not your man.
No, and even
He's not
then,
your friend.
even that's a red flag if they immediately keep trying to like get you in their house and like move in like after like 3 months or so.
Yeah,
I think it
that's
is a red flag sometimes. But I would prefer the latter. Like I would prefer him to be begging me to go into his house to live there.
Especially if you hear me, you know I'm like deep down bad.
Instead of saying, you better figure it out. I don't know what you're going to do.
You came into this world alone, that man said you came into this world alone, which means, girl, you are alone in this. That he is not your man, he's not your partner, he's not your friend. This is, I don't even understand. This is an acquaintance.
And then he probably don't even equate you to his people. Because I don't think she African.
She might be. I think her name, I don't know if she's Ghanaian, but she might.
The house that he's building to sell. He's building a house there to sell. He's gone to Ghana before. In like June to August, he went to Ghana. He said he was going to stay for a month. He stayed for 2.5 months. It created a significant strain in our relationship. But he came back, everything was fine. He decided to tell me that he was going to
Wait, hold up. Pause that. So she was in a relationship for a year, but he was gone for like almost 2.5 to 3 months. Girl, y'all were not in a relationship for no year. That man was gone for that long. He has a whole family. This,
mind you, he was only supposed to. No, but being 2 months away from someone doesn't mean that you're not in a relationship. Like, say if I was gone for the summer.
If he said he was going to be gone for a month and ended up staying 2.5 months, he has a whole family there.
It's different if you're going to stay there for a year. I think 3 months is a long time, but it's still like he should have stayed in communication with her if he was going to do that. But he initially said he was going to be there for a month, and then it just turned into 2. So I would have been mad at that. Like, why didn't you tell me that?
I'm gonna be honest, because the long distance stuff, I think let them be single for that time, because I just don't see how, especially even women, but a hot blooded man is going to not do anything for no 2.5 to 3 months. I just don't believe it.
I mean, if he's in Ghana, he's in his element. He's with his people, so he's gonna have fun.
No, I'm talking about like do anything intimately with somebody or entertain another thing, because what hot-blooded man, a young man, even older men do this, but you're going to be gone for that long and not do anything? I don't believe that.
That's insane if he can't control himself in 3 months.
I won't say all. I'll say since the amount of like, okay, the dates I went on with men, I see that a lot of them don't have self-control, so I could see that happening. And there's just a very few amount of men, unless depending where they are and if they are even desirable or seen as desirable, they may not have access to women, but that's a 50-50 type of thing.
The holiday season, I said, I don't think that's a good idea. This is our first holidays together. I think we should be together for our very first holidays. He tells me, no, I have to go. I need to oversee some things that are going on with the project. It's way past due. The house has been supposed to be built. I need to be there. I'm thinking, what kind of things are they going to be doing over the holiday season? Like, it's freaking Christmas. What are they going to be doing? Like, what tools are they going to get in? People are going to be on break. But he said that he needed to be there to oversee some things. He did not take over their family all the time. I want to go see my family.
Oh, during the Christmas time or holidays? Oh, yeah, he's going to his family that he has.
I want to go see my family. Now it becomes less of I'm going to check on the house and more of I want to see my family for Christmas. What he's really doing there, I don't know. Do I think that maybe he has a secret family there because people keep asking me that? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know the damn thing. I'm focused on the bills. Okay.
They do.
I just like to pay these bills.
They do.
I'm not concerned about if he has secret families in Ghana. He said he would be back before New Year's. Clearly he's a liar, so he's not here. He's still not here. And I think that space though was what I needed to give me distance to be able to look at the relationship from a different point of view. So for the people that are asking me, why can't I just go live with my parents? My father is dead. He died to cancer when I was 12, and my mom is not really doing well. Also, I live in a completely different state than all my family lives in, and I don't even know if I have the funds to like travel to a different state. When we had the conversation about me moving in and I told him that I needed to move in with him, I asked him, y'all. I know I said in the video, but I asked him, I said if it was okay, and that's why he gave me the response that no, it's not okay. He ended up saying like, we're not moving in until we're married, so if you're ready to get married, I'm ready to get married. Really, that's not the proposal of my dreams. I don't know if it's anybody else's proposal, and I don't know if he was serious or not, like, but to say like, oh, we got married because I was almost homeless is not the proposal of my dreams. It was very demeaning for him to just say that, like, oh, let's just get married then. Since you're ready to move in, let's just get married. That was very demeaning. I didn't appreciate that. I didn't like that. And I felt like that was the catalyst for me to say, even if you offered me a place to stay right now, I wouldn't even move in. Because now I feel like I've begged you for it. I don't want anything that I had to fight for. I don't want a man to do something for me because I begged him to do it. I want him to do something for me because he wants to do something for me.
It's good she got standards.
Yes.
Because I'm like, you don't want to... That's how Satan works. When you down on your last leg, no, don't give them the satisfaction.
Yeah. And you know what? God blocked that from her. From having, moving in. He's like, no, I'm not going to let you do that. Whoever she has praying for her, those prayers were heard. Block that so she can see, like, don't do this.
You don't have it in you. You're not my man. Maybe you're somebody else's man. But this isn't going to be for me. So, thanks everybody for tuning in. Like, this is the highlight of my year because it's been horrible.
I'm so sorry.
It's been hard. But I thank everybody for saying nice things and backing me because I was starting to think that maybe I was the one in the wrong and that I had unrealistic goals. So thanks everybody for saying that I was not asking for too much and he should have been there for me. So this has been a really humbling experience for me. This year has been the year of humbling, 2024. And hopefully we don't do this again.
2024 has been the year of humbling.
Just because I feel like now I have to, because people keep asking me like, is this a skit? Did you make this up? Now I feel like I have to show proof. The conversation that I posted in the original story time was mostly done over the phone. But let me show you the text message that he sent me the first message I sent him saying, can we move in together? So this is the original text message of me saying, I guess I cut off the part where I asked him, but me being like, hey, like I need to move with you, unless you don't want me. I tried to be like, I tried to be respectful. I said, unless you don't want me there, like I'll respect your boundaries. And he said, I doubt that's a good idea right now. We all have our personal space to go to when there are issues. Like I said in the original video, I prefer it that way. And then I was basically like, well, then maybe we should just start seeing other people. Because, like, at this point, I'm like, this is literally, y'all, I swear to God, I was blindsided. I literally did not think that he would say that. This is basically when he told me that the deadline that I set was self-appointed and thought.
So she gave him an ultimatum for the 1 year that within the year, at the end of the year, he needs to propose to her?
No, she's just saying that at the end, it's been 1 year and the fact that you're trying to decide if I'm even eligible to marry is a bit concerning.
We had come to an agreement that we were both going to do that. This is where he admits that he agreed. He says my deadline was self-appointed, but then he says right here, I agreed that you would know my decision by then. So was it really so self-appointed if we both agreed on it? No, I don't think so, but man math, apparently. So yeah, I just feel like I have to post that because people are asking me, am I making this up for clout? No. I wish I was. I really wish I was. I'm not going to post all the messages because that's our private messages between each other. And I don't hate him, so I'm not going to post his messages. But, yeah.
All right.
The max should be 2 years, especially depending on your age.
Yeah.
Like, late 20s, early 30s, 2 years before you could decide, like,
I didn't even hear how old she was.
I don't know.
I got to look into that. But I feel like there was already a lot of red flags in this, from the portrait to him having roommates, and I don't know how old he was. If his best friend is 40.
Oh, she said he was like 34 or 35.
Okay, so he's mid-30s. And is she late 20s, early 20s?
Crazy. And then he kept mentioning in that text message an established woman. It's like, oh, well, you should have it together. And I know
because that is actually really insane. With like, of course, someone dealing with losing their job. Like, it's not like she moved to a whole nother state, so she really can only rely on herself.
And she had a rainy day fund. It ran out.
Yeah, and then you think you're meeting, like if you meet someone and it starts working past like 3 dates or so, and now you start to think that this is actually like blooming into something, budding into something.
Yeah.
That's so disheartening to know you cannot rely on that person.
But she did say whenever she would ask him questions, he had a way of going around the question and maybe asking a question or saying something else. When someone speaks in circles, they're lying.
Extremely.
If they can't answer it directly, they're lying. Because if you ask
one
a question,
plus
what color is the sky?
if 1 plus 1 is not equaling 2, you ask them a simple question like that, and they trying to convince you why it's 3. It's insane.
Or like, yeah, like look in the sky. What's the color? Well, I know I see clouds and I see birds. So you're talking that color? Like they trying to beat around it and not say blue. Something is wrong. When it doesn't add up, there's a lie in there. Even a woman having a whole bunch of pictures up of herself. Like if it's more than
I think it gives psychopath.
More than 2. It's
I think it gives psychopath. I also think it's weird when people have themselves as their phone, like they lock screen.
Yeah.
Why are you an image on your phone like that? Like you don't see yourself every day. It's
That's
insane
being
to
conceited.
me. So it's like levels to that I'm not gonna really accept, or I won't get over it. Like I may not bring it up. Like if I saw portraits of him, I wouldn't bring it up to him, but it would be in the back of my mind 24/7.
He probably would never hear from me. I would be so good on that. I'm like, I see it. I'm good. You can't answer straightforward questions.
If I still kept trying to speak to him, I just know within like that week it's going to, like I would probably ghost him because I'm gonna just be laying down dreaming that he has photos of himself on the walls. I would not leave my mind, so I just can't be a part of that.
Or you just be a meal if you want that. But who wants to waste time? But you can't even have a good conversation with a person like that because if they go around the question, it's like, nah. And
then I know you're making 6 figures. On top of this, having businesses, you're talking about you building all this stuff. He definitely had to have all the amount that he's saving. If he wasn't making 6 figures from his job, like his paying job, he was making it from other streams of income. Because we know he was working with multiple other stuff.
Yes. So.
And not giving it to her.
Not trying to help her.
Not trying to help her. Not trying to say, hey, well maybe I can pay half of the rent, or maybe I could do that. Like I know guys who have literally paid for their girlfriend's apartment.
Yes,
which is insane. That he wouldn't even suggest that if he could afford it, which he couldn't, because he has 2 roommates in the house. You're banking a whole bunch of money.
A selfish man is a dangerous man to be with.
Definitely.
Don't waste your time. Don't waste your years. We don't get this time back. People like to say gold digging. Yeah, people can gold dig on time too.
You don't get. Be
very aware of that. Men like to take away time. Women look at money. Men look at take away time.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Because I think people, and what a lot of people I think neglect to say in their story times is certain trigger, like it had to have been something during their date process that he was saying like trigger stuff and she just ignored it. Like it's like, oh, if he says like, I don't know, just like like negging stuff, like little petty stuff, like you can already kind of gauge somebody's character, because people who talk in circles like to kind of downplay you a lot. So they try to say certain buzzwords, certain phrases that, then you try to like ignore it because you like them, and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna bypass this.
Because you're established and successful. You're established, and they keep mentioning that word established. Like, well, I don't have to help you because you good. I don't ever have to give anything to you. Like the different conversations people are having during the dating process. It's if they, especially with that conversation about the roommates, if he switched up his story, just like when that guy was like, oh yeah, this is a temporary car, and then he told on himself the next day.
Oh yeah, so we didn't update y'all. We didn't update y'all on our like normal podcast because we haven't had it. Yeah, I recently went out with someone and he thought I wasn't catching it before. Like I remember, so context is this older Caucasian man. Older Caucasian man. He takes me to like a really nice steakhouse, and it's like, you know, a certain crowd there. So I live in my element. Like I love fancy environment. Like I kind of just thrive in those environments. And luxurious. And also being, I think a concern with Black people, especially in Texas, is they'll try to avoid white spaces because it can make them feel uncomfortable, and that's completely understandable. Because sometimes if I'm by myself, I'm like, oh, I don't know, like I'm the only
I don't mind it.
Black person here.
Different to me.
But yeah, so this restaurant was, you know, completely, majority of it was like white people in there. Wasn't much Black people. I was probably the only black woman in there, and I was just not affected by it, because I was like, oh, I'm here to have a good time. Long story short, he tells me, because I came in my fur coat and everything, like, you know, it's winter, I'm coming fabulous.
She looked really
and
good.
He says, we were about to leave because he had offered to drive me home because I took an Uber there and I was like, oh, I really don't want to take Uber back. So I wanted to take me home and without having to ask him. So he did offer. And then before we get to the car, because we're going to the valet, he says, oh, I just want you to know that the car that I have now isn't my actual car. Like, I'm renting this car out while my real car is in the shop. Like, they said it's going to be only a couple of days, so I only have this for like 2 or 3 more days. And I would have understood him bringing that context to me if I had asked him, like, why do you have this car? Like, I'm not snobbish in that way. I'm not going to sit there and, like, I mean, unless the car is dirty. Like, I've complained about being in a filthy guy's car before. It was disgusting, and I did not feel bad about it. I said, this car is disgusting. How dare you try to put me in this car? Are you insane? Because I wish I took photos. That was disgusting. I was so scarred. I was like, I just thought that was weird that he brought that context to me. And when we got to the car, I forgot what brand it was, what model of the car it was, but it was a nice black normal car. I mean, I don't know if he thought I was expecting him to have like a touchscreen radio and like the widescreen like it was a car. I was like, it's a clean car, it looks nice, like what's the issue? So that stood in the back of my mind because that was such a weird thing to bring up to me. And then fast forward, we went on another date and he obviously has the same car and it had been like a week of seeing each other. And then towards the end of the night, he kind of feeling a little looser, kind of talking a little bit more. And I think I got him in a comfortable state where he was just like, just kept running. And this is why I always say you be quiet. Like, you ask questions, which I always say on a date as a woman, just listen. Because when you kind of just say, oh, really? Why is that? Or what? Like, they just keep talking. Like, they just
let
talk.
them lead.
Let them lead. Let them feel like they're leading the conversation, and they would keep trying to overcompensate to bring even more information to you. And that's what happened. We were in the car, he's driving, and he's like, he brought up like buying his parents a car, and then he said, yeah, that's why I have this current car right now. And I was like, I didn't bring up, but you said this was a rental.
Yeah, temporary.
But in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, so this is his car. He thought I was some, I don't know, ditzy, bimbo, superficial, just wanting,
very
like,
snooty.
just snooty, because maybe an age gap, maybe gold digger type. I don't know persona I give off before people talk to me and realize, oh, she has a personality. Oh, she actually can hold a conversation. I don't know. But, yeah, I thought that was weird. So, and certain people kind of brush that under the bridge, right? Like, you kind of just be like, that was weird, but let me just continue talking to him. I think that is where we need to start trusting our instincts and say, okay, if they could do this little white lie for this, what else can they be lying about?
When no one asked him.
When no one asked.
So he exposed his own insecurity, and it was like, oh, okay.
But again, that's why I say, if you know that you live you have like a more privileged life, you really got to be mindful how you introduce people into your space.
Oh, yeah.
Because I now look back in that, I'm like, oh, he did drop me off home. Maybe he thought because the space that I live is not what you would kind of expect someone my age to be living in, that they own it. I think that could have been contributed to that. So I don't know, but I'm also not here to make you feel like you need to be secure in yourself. Like, I can't be trying to dim my light and stuff because people want to be intimidated. Like, I don't know. I don't understand that. But with that girl, I'm sure that guy said he had to have said something because he cannot. I know people like that cannot control themselves. Like, they have to say something arrogant. They have to slip up. So you have to be mindful of that. You definitely have to, because it's nice nasty. It's not cute. And it's really sassy behavior. This was a great video. I think it was a nice segue into how we're going to kind of formulate these videos. I think this was a great starter. I hope everything starts to work out for Nani. I know that she is getting a lot of views on TikTok, so I'm sure she's like monetizing on it.
Hopefully.
I hope that this was hell turned into a blessing. So, it worked out in his favor. I think you just have to read the signs and don't get comfortable too quickly. I still think a year is early
Yeah.
to really, because it does change. I mean, he showed you a lot before you even lived together. So imagine living together. He would have made your life hell. I feel like he would have made her life hell. He would have made her work for it. Like, especially if he feels backed in the corner or feel like he was forced into a decision.
Oh yeah.
And in his mind, even though you didn't express it to be an ultimatum, he took it as an ultimatum for you to say, I need to propose to her in a year. He was going to hate you.
Yeah.
Like, girl, you dodged so many bullets, and you really saved your life.
Yes.
You saved a lot of years. So you need to take those tears. First of all, he don't even deserve those tears. You need to take those tears. Keep it pushing. But don't focus on dating right now. Live your life. You gotta figure out your life first. And then figure out the life so you don't become a burden for someone else who got their stuff together. Because that, not gonna mesh well.
Yes. And the right person, even if you don't even hit rock bottom, they're just gonna want to offer. They're gonna want to give to you.
Right.
And that's the only type of people you should have.
They're gonna give to you before you even act. Like, you don't have to ask, because the minute you say, oh, I don't know, because that's a man who can lead.
Yeah.
A man who can lead has options, can give you choices,
solutions,
can give you solutions. Is a strategist. They can help you, not burden you. That's a burden to even have that strain in conversation and saying, why can't you live? Why can't I live with you? That is stress. To wrap this up, thank you guys for watching.
Yes.
Hopefully you like this style of the video.
And I have another one for us to watch next time because it will be really good. And it's about girl trips and just groups in general. So that's going to be a good one. You guys already know some of our stories, but that was just wow.
Okay, guys. We'll see you. Bye.